Hello there, my name is Craig DB. You've probably seen, if you're watching this video right now, chances are you've seen some of the videos I've done before with my son Dylan. Today I'm going to do a bit of a tutorial in the game Tekkit, which is the Industrial and Buildcraft modification version of Minecraft. This is got some areas in it involving some engines used to make quarries and a lot of things like that, and in our server we've found a lot of people are having problems with overheat issues. Now I've got a few engines here, or I can generate a few more, just bringing some up in a single player game for this purpose. Combustion engines being the main issue. We would use a combustion engine for such things as building a quarry is the classic example. We need to use a wrench just to move it pointing the right direction. In fact, that's a very basic setup. We now grab some fuel. We put the fuel in the engine. We get some water. Whoops. Let's get it together. The water, I'm just putting some very basics in there right now. They're the basic concepts. We get ourselves a lever or a lever here. Turn it on. Away we go. We're building a quarry. So they're very basic concepts. Now, obviously I've not done very much here, so if we will leave this to sit for a while, we'll just watch this thing building its quarry. Chances are I'll come back to you once this is a bit more completed, and we'll see what's going on with this engine along the way. Well, okay, pretty much right on cue now. It hasn't even been 10 minutes. Usually I find that the limit is around about 10 minutes. You can see now the engine has gotten hot. It has run out of water, and we all know that if that was left to continue, that would explode. So obviously the purpose then is to deliver a water system to it, and the easiest way to do that, we do know, is to put a engine pumping water from a water pump. There's a water pump here. Just get a couple of things set up here to try and see what we can do about getting some water in this little location. Probably should have set it up beforehand. Just a bit of water in there just to keep him happy. It should now drop its, I don't know if it's dropping its pipe or not there. Yes, I think it is. I see the pipe coming in. So now the trick here is you just want to create a one layer deep water. Incidentally, in the time in between, obviously the quarry had finished doing its thing, so I made a little chest, started setting some stuff up to catch all the bits and pieces. Now you will notice that things still tend to operate even when machines have been turned off. There is a bit of a time delay thing there. It's something to do with energy build-up, I assume, because it's an important factor in the steam engines and how they operate. Anyway, I'm going to just turn this into infinite water, just by doing the one layer deep water principle here to get it to eventually fill all this out to a single layer. You probably don't want single spots like that happening. Just try and make it as square as possible. Some more water in. And we're starting to get a bit of a layer there happening of infinite water. We can use that. Now it's really starting to kick in. It's important to make the whole pool one layer, so that you want a large enough pool if you've got more than one pump, because they can create a coal next to each other and can potentially remove the infinite water feature. So you want to try and protect against that. Let's get that in place properly by having it big enough but all one layer deep. Almost there. So there we go, we generated our infinite water, that'll do. We'll just fill this bit in here just to close it off. That's got our water for our pump, and that will basically pump water forever into the system. I'll just do some final setups on this and get it all to just finish off some water. To do so, one moment. Skype for a second there because it's going to annoy us. So we want some waterproof pipe delivering. Now I believe we can actually, the biggest issue, you can just use cobblestone pipe for now. Bang, cobblestone pipe, put a steam engine. A lot of people just go with combustion engines just to fix the problem because they can just run all these pipes between everything, but I think why waste the combustion when you can achieve it different ways once you understand what's going on. These guys here, steam engine, you can just put some charcoal, which you can just go chop down a bunch of trees to get enough charcoal. That's not too difficult. Put that in, turn him on. And now he is, as you can hear some splashing noises, he should start delivering. Big mistake we made there is we need a wooden waterproof pipe to begin with, I believe, to extract the water. And that's not waterproof pipe, is it? That's where I've made a mistake there. Okay, so that's been going for a little bit, and you can see that the water's pumping in. We go and look here. We've now got plenty of water going in. We can continue rolling along our way. Everything is fine and dandy. Obviously, a lot of people want to run more than one engine on a quarry to make it run faster. You have to hook up a few systems. First, this issue we found when doing that is the pipes here don't deliver enough water for multiple engines, and to fix that issue, the first thing you need is gold pipes. Now I believe my comment about water at the start, wooden waterproof pipes, is in error. It can be just a normal waterproof pipe there. As you can see, with golden ones, it delivers a lot more water with goldens, and they give you the water supply that you need to get more than 10 minutes of supply to multiple engines. The next issue is to do with these steam engines. The thing with steam engines is, from what I've seen from use, I've had this going like this, all not fine and dandy. The steam engines start overheating. So you've got to control the steam engines. You want to be able to run a quarry unattended for a period of time, and I found that this setup now will give you a maximum of 10 minutes before this starts overheating. Look, it's already gone green because it's and the other issue you also will find here, we've already gone through 3 charcoal. That's going to burn through all that charcoal very quickly, and it'll probably blow up before it does. That is because of this heat up cool down cycle that they seem to go through, which is basically, if I take the rest of that charcoal out, we should be able to demonstrate. I'll let the charcoal just burn through, and I might actually change the weather conditions a bit here because it's starting to annoy me a little. And let's make it daytime again, just so we can see what's going on here. This is still happily, merrily going on its way, and it will not overheat. At the moment it will not overheat because it is getting plenty of water supply. But the issue we have currently is that this is going to overheat, and of course it will run out of steam eventually, and even if it didn't overheat and blow up, it would run out of steam, and that would then run out of water, and everything would blow up. So you want something that's going to last a long time. And of course, one stack of coal is not going to do it. Now here's what I was talking about. We're now out of steam. Absolutely burnt out. There is no more power being generated. Yet this engine is now running still, and it will do for a while. It is now in cool down cycle. So while it has steam in there, it is continuing to heat up and heat up and heat up. And then you get this period, which is a cool down cycle. So what you basically want to do is have it going like this, and sort of merrily, if you were to do it manually, go, okay, sit there, happy, 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 let it go. Let that cool down for a while, and then go, right, we'll put another coal in there. And we'll let him go. And I've been watching it, and I've seen that the moment new coal goes in, a blue engine will turn back to green, and then in that cool down cycle, I'll see them turn blue again while they are still running. So there's a definite heat up and cool down cycle, and if you continue coal in there, it will continue to heat up and it will then blow. This is happily going along its way, so we want an automated system to deliver coal, lots of coal, have lots of supply, but deliver it in a trickle flow in for a heat up cool down cycle to continually provide water that will keep your happy engines going on their way. Get rid of this rain again, make sure it is middle of the day, and you can see I'm getting lots of Tekkit goodies. You'll also notice I'm running Mo Creatures. There's a little bear running over here. This is just part of the features that are running in Tekkit, our server that a group of us play together. Over here you'll see a frame for a new quarry that I have made over in the distance. This is a more elaborate setup. I pre-made this rather than going through it all in the video. I'll let a few bits and pieces already run, you can see, so it's already created the frame and all of that, ready to go on the actual quarry. We've got a 4-engine system running on the quarry. That seems to get you the maximum flow. Any more engines than that doesn't seem to make the quarry run any faster. I've done timings on the 64x64 quarry, and even that 3 to 4 engines was only about a 10-second difference on a single strip 64 blocks. So you'll see I'm using a lot of the Tekkit advanced wiring and stuff here. Just some wiring there to power up these guys here. As a part of the setup, I had broken my wire here. I'll just rebuild it so that we've got this whole thing going off a single switch. So we've got power to my combustion engines. Each of these I've manually filled up with fuel. You can see here at the moment I've not put any water in them at the moment, so we'll go do a primer system. I've got a primer system in place because we want to put water in there to begin with. The trickle system that I work with, it has a few minutes delay before any actual water is provided, so you need to make sure it's primed first. You've then got the 2 engines here, steam engines, that are going to provide all the water you need for your 4 combustion engines. These are hooked across here to redstone. Our redstone engines will not burn out, and they're only running occasionally. Hooked up into chests. We've got, as you can see, a lot of charcoal stacked up here. Theoretically you could use the copper chests and stuff to even have a larger supply there if you wished. This is all hooked up to these engines via a repeater to generate a 1 pulse just long enough, and I found with the advanced repeaters 1, 2, 3, 4 is just enough to create a pulse to create 1 run of this engine. We then have this hooked up to a timer. In this case, we're going to set the timer, and I think my magic number on my server is about 360 or something like that. You can play around to get your perfect balance. It's made to be different depending on how long your pipes are here and all of those kind of things. They are all going to be factors into what your timer is set to give you the right delivery during your at the end of your cooldown cycle of your engine, water engine. You basically want it delivered at the end of the cooldown cycle before it goes up again. Oh my gosh, there's a unicorn. I've only seen one of them previously and we failed to tame it. This is only single player, so I'm not even going to worry. I just interested to see a unicorn. Here we go. So our primer is over here, which is basically just a button going into the repeater just to set one off. And this is how it works. So we go bang, hits the repeater goes just enough to go one pump of the engine goes off, and away he goes. And that just gives us one coal into the steam engine, so they fire up straight away when we turn the system on. Because when we turn the system on, coal is not delivered straight away. It's assumed that there's already water in the system. So because we're just starting off, we're kicking off a primer. Bang, in they go. We now have them in the steam engines ready to go. Over here we just have a lever set to turn everything on. So it goes across here and it goes in. We've just got a little bit of a repeater system to go through a block to create an inverter. I think there are more advanced inverters in the game. I just know this works, so I'm working with it at the moment. The inverter turns off the timer so that everything is turned off by creating an on state. It's just the way the timer works. That's why we have an inverter there. And then going into the pulse, going into the trickle engines. Off here, these are just a continual on. So we just have these engines are always on, and they're being controlled by how much fuel is being provided to them. Then these are just going on permanently. In a real life situation, I would also have other pipes feeding fuel in from a refinery. In my multiplayer world, we have the teleport pipes coming in from my refinery, delivering fuel to all the systems. I have it all distributing all over the place via frequencies. And so we shall now make it day again, turn on the system, and boom, away we go. You'll see that the timer has gone off. Nothing's happened here at this stage. It's just started its little timer and it's starting to run, and like we say, we've got it at like 300 seconds. I don't think it's actually that high. I think it was more like 3 minutes, so I think it was like 220 seconds or something. At any rate, you'll see that's now running a little bit faster on the clock. The engines are already running because we got a primer of water. Now, talking about that one deep thing here before, I missed one block of one deep, and that's already starting to fail me, so I need to fix it. And by doing that, that's maintained our one block deep. I don't think that would have been a major drama. You can see how the two engines are pulling water all over the place, and it's just instantly coming back. Don't worry about trying to drain seas to provide all your water. This will provide all the water you need. So you'll see that they're happily going away. They're actually almost out of steam. So they're still in heat up cycle. How's their little timer going here? The timer's going around. It's not even halfway through on this. We'll let it go. And you can see that with those 4 engines, look how fast this quarry is digging. It's just powering along really nicely. Now, we've already, by the looks of it, made a mistake here. Something's not working. I think it's to do with using iron on the... I think we just need to put some cobblestone. I don't remember what the iron pipes do. Standard cobblestone pipes. Stone and cobblestone pipes will feed anything, items like that. Obsidian pipes work as a vacuum to suck any item, so you can just throw it and it'll go into the pipe. Gold pipes accelerate the speed. You probably know all of this stuff. Just wondering how to maintain your quarry so that it can run unattended and you can walk away from it and not even think about it. And this is how to do it. You can see, let's see where we're going now. See, they're now on a cool down cycle. Happily going on their cool down cycle. Looks like, oh, we're about 3/4 on our clock. Let's see how this goes. We'll just wait for that timer to come through. That is the most horrible sound that those deer type creatures make. I've got mobs turned off here. One of the things you'll probably know if you've ever played Mo Creatures is there is a nasty thing that makes a creeper look rather tame. This is big ugly ogres, and I've had my quarries eaten by many an ogre. I have the mobs turned off here for that reason. I don't want it to get eaten. Our clock is now almost at the end. They're still quite happily running on their cool down cycle. They may even stop at this point, but that's not an issue because we've got plenty of water being delivered. They can stop for a short period of time and that's not going to be an issue. Here we go. We've just hit our clock sequence. Off goes our repeater. Our engines go off and they deliver one more coal. Single coal piece in. So that means it's now only consuming one coal every like 3 minutes or so, and you may even be able to set it longer than that. So your coal is going to last a long time, and you can put multiple stacks rather than your single stack limitation of the engine. Do not be tempted to multiple stack in the engine. As I've said, we need the cooldown cycle is important to make sure they do not overheat. You'll see that the combustion engines have now gone green, so they're starting to get into full operation, full speed. I have had this system not exactly this design, it's a bit of a modification. This was just a throwdown design for the tutorial. Mine's got a lot more hiding of the wires and all of that. Not as exposed, like I say, it's much more ogre proof. But this system here delivers exactly the same as what this system does. The two engines with the to the 4 quarry engines running the quarry. I have a 64x64 quarry running off this exact system. I had it running for almost 3 hours when it ran out of fuel in here and I ran out of fuel in my refinery. I haven't started it since, but as I've demonstrated just by testing that, oops, I've just removed power from one of them. I'll just quickly put that back in. Has to be wooden power on this one. There we go, that gets him going again. But these will run pretty much indefinitely. I've actually finally had the confidence to be able to leave my quarry while it's running and not have to worry that the quarry is going to overheat and blow up before I get back. This thing just runs forever. And the main factors, understanding heat up, cool down, to be able to deliver steam to these guys and not have to worry about wasting extra fuel running combustion engines to your water. It's the easy solution because you can run pipe water straight back into them and keep them running. And they may be even, you can use one combustion engine to drive 4 machines, who knows. I just know that with this system here, you're not using as much fuel to drive combustion engines just for your water supplies. This works very nicely, and I know it works pretty much on long-term unattended. I can't say for sure that using a combustion water engine will provide the same solution. Thank you for watching. Let's go back to day again. This has been interesting. This is my first tutorial, so I hope it's been something that you can get a benefit from. Give it a shot on your own single player or multiplayer worlds. Multiplayer is a handy place to do it because if you use the good old dimensional anchors, if they do work for you and you can get the chunk to stay in memory, you could potentially log out and have your quarry running while you're sleeping or whatever. Come back the next day and not have a whole big mess of exploded engines. I can't say for sure how long it would run for. You get your timers tweaked exactly right. This should run until engines run out here of fuel. Deliver enough fuel continuously, and you should have no problem with basically running it forever. Good luck. I'd be interested in any comments in the comment section as to how long they've been able to get a combustion engine system like this running without having to turn it off to cool down. I will be very interested to see just how long it can run for. Thank you very much. You have a good day.